We're here to watch for an annual broadcast spawning for cauliflower corals, Cossolepora meandrina. Happens once a year with the spring tides and the full moon. And we've got a cluster here of about 40 colonies, healthy colonies that will hopefully spawn this morning. This is a nice cluster, so hopefully the gametes will fertilize with nearby colonies, float to the surface, and within 24 to 48 hours we'll have planula larvae. So those larvae can help reseed the area with new colonies. I think minimizing disturbance during these really sensitive times for the corals is definitely a good way to help protect the larvae, make sure they're healthy. Personal care products, it's best to keep that out of the water. That can form a surface slick that interacts with the coral larvae. So it's great to just give them as much space as possible during these events. There's a lot of factors that come into play. Sometimes even a rain event can cause the colonies to wait until the next lunar cycle to spawn. So water temperature is important, salinity is important, but especially the lunar cycle really drives what happens.
It's tricky because we don't know exactly what happens to the spawn after they spawn. They're going to combine, they're going to form what's called a planula larvae, but those are carried offshore for anywhere from a day to a month or more before they actually settle back down onto the reef. So it's possible that they're going to settle back down in this same bay, but these spawn could also go elsewhere within the region of West Hawaii or across the state even. It's good to kind of let them do their thing, give them this opportunity to spawn. And
this is the first time that Wailea Bay has been closed for coral spawning. So we're going to be closed today, Friday, and tomorrow morning, Saturday, till noon. And they did see some evidence of coral spawning this morning in the bay, so that's a really good sign. Yeah.
Cauliflower coral is a really special species here in West Hawaii. Back in 2015, we had a die-off, a major die-off of the species because of coral bleaching. So we're down to about 5% of the population of this species, which is why these spawning events are so important to help it recover through this natural reproductive cycle. We actually have seen active spawning over the 5 years. Each year there's been spawning documented, which is great. And we've also seen pretty high recruitment of these species. So the larvae generated in these events are settling back out onto the reef. From there, we have had additional thermal stress events, so we've noticed that the tiny new coral colonies have been a bit pale, but we're hoping that those continue to survive and become thriving adult colonies. We know thermal stress events are coming, so these remaining colonies are hopefully more resilient. They survived the first couple of bleaching events, so we're hoping these are resilient colonies that are reproducing in these events.